Good afternoon, everyone. This is your Ziman. I want to welcome you back to the podcast. I'm Jasmine, and today's topic is going to be about fat shaming. Now, off of that, you're probably thinking it's going to be a certain type of episode where I'm going to talk about maybe getting fat shamed or fat shaming people, but no. In this episode, we're going to be talking about what is healthy. So yeah, just be prepared for that. Also, I want to put a note that in my last episode, I don't know what was good with me, but I literally could not breathe for the life of me. So there's so many pauses and I had to catch my breath. So I'm sorry if y'all picked up on that. If not, just ignore me. Don't even go back and try to look for it. It didn't happen. Okay. But, yeah, I don't know what was good. So hopefully today that won't happen. But sometimes if I talk so much, especially doing a podcast where you're just the only one talking, it's kind of hard because you don't have a break. If there's two people, you kind of go back and forth. But here it's just I don't have a break, so it's I have to just keep talking. So sometimes I might pause, catch my breath, be able to talk a little bit more without dying. So if that happens, that is the reason. But let's go ahead and get into this episode. But before we do, I want to give a few disclaimers. I am not saying you have to follow my advice. I'm not saying this is licensed advice. I am not a medical professional. I am not a doctor. I hate that everybody has to say that now in videos, but people take stuff so just seriously and are so just, what's the word? People are just so sensitive now, so it's kind of hard, but I'll just give disclaimers anyway because, I feel like that kind of keeps, people safe, the people who are, content creators. It keeps them safe from everybody who tries to come at them. So, yeah, pretty much not a doctor. This isn't licensed. This is obviously just my opinion. That's what this whole podcast is even based on. So, yeah, just want to go ahead and put that out there. I am not calling anyone fat. I am not saying nothing. So don't come after me. So yeah, basically what I'm going to talk about is healthiness and being healthy in this episode. I'm not necessarily talking about fat shaming in a way that I've never had an experience with that. I don't believe. If I did, it was probably just something I brushed off or something I didn't take very seriously. I would consider myself a pretty average, not lean, but just average, healthy person. I'm not overweight, I'm not underweight right now. So I've never actually been through that. I don't know if I know anyone who has been through that personally. I've never seen it really happen. I don't know. I guess there's different ways it can happen. Anyway, but yeah, what I'm going to be talking about is healthiness and, what is healthy for your body. Not necessarily, I'm not talking about anybody's looks in this episode. I am not saying anybody is less than somebody else. But I just want to say that fat shaming is wrong and I don't agree with it. That's another disclaimer. It's wrong. We're going to get more into it later on in the episode, but I just want to go ahead and put that out there. I don't agree with fat shaming anybody. Obviously you can't, it's not really a good idea to ever make a comment on somebody's body, regardless if they're, overweight or not. It's just, I feel like that's never a good idea. Maybe if you're talking about somebody's clothes, but for me, I try to stay away from ever making a comment about somebody's body, whether it's good or bad, to be honest, because it's just nobody got time for that, okay? But yeah, so basically I'm just saying fat shaming is wrong. I don't think it's okay to call people, fat or call people out on that or say, you're less than or anything like that. So with all of those disclaimers, I hope we're ready to finally get into the episode. So yeah, I just want to start off this episode. I keep saying that, start off, sis. We done started off 4 times. But yeah, I feel like America is this way because of fast food. I think fast food is definitely a big part of it because it's so accessible and it's very unhealthy. Maybe it's also a combination of fast food, unhealthy food, junk food, along with lack of exercise, laziness, and entertainment, television, stuff like that. I honestly think all of that goes into why America is the way it is. There's actually a thing on the CDC. This is actually from the CDC's website. It's from 2015 to 2016. I think that's like the earliest they had. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I saw. It said from 2015 to 2016, 39.8%. That's a huge number. Can we just pay attention to how big of a number that is? 39.8% of Americans are obese. Americans, well, let me go ahead and say Americans over 20 years old. We're just talking about 20 years and older. 39.8% are obese. Not overweight, but obese. I think overweight and then obese comes next. Like, obese is like almost, I think, the last on the scale. I'm not sure. Maybe there's another one after that. But 39.8%. But overweight, this number is huge. Honestly, I couldn't believe this. I mean, I can believe it, but it's just crazy. 71.6% in 2015 to 2016. People over 20 years old, 71.6% of those people were considered overweight. That is like huge. That's nearing 80% right there. Like, you're over 7 years, like 70 to 80%. Like, that is crazy to me. Like, maybe it's just me, but I mean, I've always noticed that, like, I mean, I've never been out of the country, but I've always noticed that Americans tend to just be heavier set. Like, usually if you go out anywhere, you're going to see more, like, overweight people than you do slim or fit, average, body shape or whatever you want to call it. So, yeah, but it just blew my mind when I seen that. I was like, 71%? Like, that is too high of a number. Like, I don't know the statistical thing about what I'm about to say, but, like, I'm pretty sure obesity is, like, something that is killing a lot of Americans. Right along with probably, like, cancer or something. I don't know for sure, but that would be my guess. So, yeah, like I said, I feel like fast food is definitely something that goes into that. I mean, I just watched a video yesterday, and this woman, she was talking about how when she was raised, like, growing up, her family would always take her to get fast food, and so that's kind of just what she stuck with. Like, whatever your parents, like, do for you as a kid, typically it kind of sticks sometimes, depends on what it is, but I guess for her that kind of stuck. Is always just eating out, restaurants, not cooking. I know a lot of people don't like cooking, but, like, eating out, fast food is just so accessible. It's somewhat affordable. It depends on where you go. I mean, I guess if you go to, like, Taco Bell or something, rather than going to, like, something more expensive like Chipotle, well, quote unquote, I don't really know. Depends on your financial status. Anyway, but yeah, I feel like fast food, and then right up there with fast food is inactivity and laziness. That's probably become more and more of a thing, because working out is something that's really hard to, have the initiative to do. Like, sometimes it's kind of hard to be like, oh, I'm going to go work out today. I'm going to put my body through this. I even understand that sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like, am I really ready to go work out right now? But yeah. Anyway, what I wanted to say is, like, I understand, because fast food is good. I mean, I'm proud of myself. I haven't went out to eat in a really long time, besides, like, maybe once on the weekends. Other than that, I've been cooking at home, which is honestly, I can tell such a difference, for one, in how I feel and how I look, and two, money-wise, and three, it's crazy that I was able, like, to finally stray away from that, because sometimes it gets, like, low-key addicting, but it honestly feels like they put crack in fast food to make you, like, want it more. I don't know what kind of weird stuff they got going on, but that's sometimes how good, like, fast food or, any restaurant can be. It literally feels like they're putting drugs in their food to make people addicted to it. Like, there's something going on there. Like, I don't know. Prove me wrong, but yeah. I understand why people do always. It's kind of hard to stray away from that. Like, it makes sense, because I think a lot of us can vouch for the whole, like, it seems like just addicting almost. It's like, also, if you go out, you can always notice, like, healthy options are always so much more expensive. Even if you go to the grocery store anything that's healthy is going to be almost twice as expensive as something that's unhealthy. Like, you can get a candy bar for like, what, 80 cents? If you try to get a bag of nuts, that stuff is like so much money. Like, it's like probably $2 and more. Like, of course you're going to go with something that's cheaper. And it's just like, oh, okay, I mean, I'd rather sacrifice my my health than my money, right? Like, it's just, I think it's just America. Like, people are putting, wealth over health. So, oh, wow. Look at that. That was kind of good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm onto something there. But, yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense. Also, like, just grocery stores and restaurants in general. Like, any healthy options, salads. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, salads are like $8, $9 now. If you go out and try to get, like, okay, say you get, like, fried chicken somewhere, it's, like, $4, right? You get a salad, that stuff is $8 or $9. That's twice as much for something that's not going to fill you up. Like, it's insane. So, I mean, I feel like they're kind of putting us in a bad situation that's kind of, you don't really have too much of a choice unless, you are financially, like, stable enough or, are able to afford the healthier but more expensive options even at the grocery store, where nuts are more expensive than candy bars, and energy drinks are more expensive than sodas, stuff like that. It's just, or even like protein shakes or smoothies. Oh my god, smoothies, don't even get me started on smoothies. You can go to a gas station and get a soda, the biggest one, like 40 something ounces for 79 cents. You try to go get like a smoothie at a gas station or something, bruh, that's gonna be like $3. Or you gotta like go get a smoothie at like Jamba Juice or something. There's at like $5 or $6. Like, it really doesn't make sense. And I feel like that's also another reason, because obviously you would rather spend less money and be full rather than spend more money and be starving the rest of the day. But yeah. Whew. See, this is what I'm talking about. I get out of breath because I'm talking so much and I gotta keep up with myself. But I want to just say, like, everybody is beautiful. I'm not saying nobody is ugly because of this, or you're, like I said, you're less than because of this. I'm not saying that. Like, what I'm trying to say here is being overweight is unhealthy, not that it's unattractive or that it's not okay, or that it's like nasty or disgusting to see. I'm just saying, for me, it's unhealthy. Like, if I don't ever look at somebody and like, oh, like, that's nasty to see, like, people being like, overweight, because it doesn't matter. But I'm just saying it's not healthy. That's kind of what I'm trying to get across in this episode. That being overweight is unhealthy is just a fact. And I think people have to realize that, because with everything that's coming in now, or that's been here, like the whole being thick, I wish you could see my air quotes right now, but being thick, being plus size, being all of this, it's like people are just doing that to make sure like everybody is accepted. I mean, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if it's a good thing to be saying, like, have all of this positive connotation towards the word thick, but it's unhealthy. It's just unhealthy. Like, it just is. Like, I don't know if any of you know about BMI. I feel like everybody knows about BMI if you've ever went to the doctor. But a healthy BMI is between 18.5 and 29.9. And there's a reason for those numbers. It's not people calling you fat. It's not people calling you, obese. It's not people calling you heavy. It's just people saying, like, there's a reason. There's a reason that these numbers are set. There's a reason that, oh, this is just a topic I can talk about forever, because I'm so, like, into people being healthy and being fit. Like, just not for the looks, more for health-wise, like, being, like, healthy inside. And making sure your body is working right, and making sure you're not having to take all of these medications and everything. Just, being naturally healthy and, making sure your body is working the right way. But yeah, like I said, there's a reason for those numbers. It's not people just calling you overweight or, fat for the fun of it. I mean, some people, maybe they do that. I can't speak for everybody. I know some people are just, rude. Some people are just have no kind of, they don't care. But for me, it's always more about like, you know, if somebody is overweight, I would just be like, it would probably be a good idea to like, you know, eat a little bit better, change the diet, maybe exercise so you can be healthy and your body can just run the way it should. Because, you know, being overweight also leads to health problems. I mean, everybody knows that. My dad's side of the family, like, being overweight actually runs in the family. Like, a bunch of his family was overweight and, you know, had health related problems because of that. So I think also for me, that kind of helped me seeing that. I'm like, okay, like, I really have to treat my body right or I'm probably gonna like die. But some of the stuff that comes with being overweight is like high blood pressure, breathing problems, that's for sure. Like, I've heard people walk up a flight of stairs and they're like, oh my god, like, I can't even make it up 2 stairs, or I have to stop, or like, I can't walk across the parking lot. Like, it does come with breathing problems. Also type 2 diabetes and body pain. I've never, like I said, like, I've never been overweight, so I can't really speak for myself or from my experience, but people I know that have been overweight, I have heard these things from them. You know, especially the body pain, when it's like something is probably like always hurting, you know, joints, legs, knees, something. I mean, even my knees be hurting and my legs be hurting and I can't make it up a flight of stairs. I think I'm just, you know, not fit right now. I've been working out, but you know how it is. So yeah, basically that's all I'm saying. And I think that obesity would probably take over America, and well, it probably will, to be honest, because if people keep eating the way they're eating, if prices like keep being the same that they are, you know, people who are low income and then they go to the store and like everything that's healthy is expensive, so they're forced to buy unhealthy stuff like ramen noodles in the little packages, like with these packaged seasonings. Like, I mean, that's not the most unhealthy thing, to be honest. It's not fried, so, but I'm just saying, like, anything like that, frozen pizzas, stuff like that, is going to be cheaper than, you know, healthy options. So it makes sense. I just, you know, wish it wasn't that way. But I do think that there has to be a little bit of self-love and self-care for people to be able to change that. I feel like you can't just tell somebody this kind of stuff that I'm saying right now and they'll change. I think they have to want that for themselves. Like, for me personally, I would not want to like be in pain and, you know, have all of these problems, breathing problems, health related problems, because I'm overweight and I just choose to keep eating more. I would rather, you know, feel like I'm not gonna die every day. Oh, that sounds kind of harsh. I don't know. This doesn't mean to be harsh, but it's just, there has to be some kind of balance. And you just have to find what works for you. I also think like the whole exercise thing is one of the hardest things for a lot of people, because it's just, exercising is exercising. It's just hard. It's hard to work out. Like, your body is in pain, or, you know, it's hard to get up and think you're gonna be working out for an hour, or going for a run and knowing you're gonna be out of breath. Like, until that starts to feel good, I feel like definitely until that point it's kind of like, oh, why am I doing this? Until you like either see results, feel results, or, you know, it feels good to work out, such as like endorphins and everything. Well, okay. Well, see, this subject, I feel like people are gonna flame me, so I have to like watch out for every single thing I say. So if I stop, that's why, because like I feel like, oh wait, that might be not a good thing to say. But I think I've got my point across pretty much. It's just that healthy food is more expensive. People are combining, you know, accessible fast food with laziness and, you know, watching TV, not wanting to work out with, and just that, and also with the whole people making thick normal, and, you know, all of that is just contributing to the problem. So, but yeah, that's pretty much my advice. That's not advice, but that's just my opinions, and maybe it helps somebody. Maybe somebody needs to hear this, and you could, you know, relay them to this episode, that would be great. But yeah, I want to go ahead and wrap this episode up by saying being overweight isn't healthy. It just isn't, and that's the reason I even made this episode, to kind of put light on that. It's not somebody saying it's bad for you to be or look a certain way, but I think it's more about it's just not healthy just for your body in general. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, if you have anybody you could recommend this to, that would be great. I would love to hear all of your feedback, all of your comments, any of your opinions that might go against mine. I would love to hear that. Make sure you guys check out the podcast on all the platforms, or whatever platform you listen on. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, leave comments. I would love that. Also, you can go to Facebook. The podcast is also on there. Also, I would love... Also on there also. Okay, sis. I would love for you guys to support, and that would be great. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week, come back. We're going to be talking about a subject that, is very different. But we're going to be talking about your baby and its last name. That's all I'm going to say. You got to come back next week to figure out what that means. But anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. This is yours and mine. I'm Jasmine, and thank you for listening.